This is another point. She came when a boy was needed, and this is gender discrimination. So let's go another way. Of course, a classify herself as a second class, like I said, second class citizen here is twofold. Ada being a second class citizen in London is actually she's a second class citizen in London. But being a second class citizen in our own country, even in our own family, that is a question mark. How can I be a second class citizen in my own country? There are certain things you are denied of if you can categorize yourself as a second class citizen. One, she was denied to go to school. Instead of them, the parents, instead of them arrange for school for Ada, they arranged school for the boy. And later, Ada was being arranged to marry to somebody at an early age. So you see the things that made Ada to feel as she's a second class citizen in her own country. That is true. There are certain things you will be denied of. You will categorize yourself as a second class citizen. That is totally correct. But here for her to move from Nigeria to London, that is true a second class citizen. It is correct. But her being a second class citizen in our country, this is Ada struggling for all this. On getting to London, she realized she is equally a second-class citizen in England because she is a black African. Upon getting to London, she finds out that London is London, yes. London, they also categorize people by sex. You have the first class, you have the second class. And she's a second-class citizen in London. And she's black, she's a woman. All of these things. In her home, she's also recognized herself as a second-class citizen. In London, she's also a second-class citizen. So now we move to where? The setting of the novel. Yeah, this is the significance of the novel. So you can get these things when you are asked. You might see this question. Comment on the significance of the title, second-class citizen. So you can even give this point. First of all, tell them who is a second-class citizen. Tell the examiner who is a second-class citizen. That will inform them that, oh, this man knows what he's doing. Because it is a significance to the title. It tells you who is the second class. Why do you become a second class? And also the difficulties the main character suffer, like I said before. So you can also mention them. Do you understand? So now we move to the setting of the novel. So let's see. The novel is set in Lagos, Nigeria during World War II. Like I said, this lady was born in 1944. And that was the period we have the Second World War, 1945. Again, I told you that she was a girl who came when a boy was needed, and also, and to put salt, to put Maggi, everything Maggi in that scheme. She was not even recognized. Her date was not even recorded because she came when a boy was needed. Those are all. She is a victim of what? She is a victim of gender discrimination. She is a victim of gender discrimination. Now we move to what? We move to the setting. What did the writer say about the setting? He said, the novel is set in Lagos, Nigeria, during World War II. In the novel, we find a male-dominated Nigerian society characterized by offensive discrimination against the girl child. Of course, the novel was set in Lagos, Nigeria. That is the first setting. There are two settings in this. It was started in Lagos, Nigeria. In that particular setting, we find out a male-dominated society. A male-dominated society. Like I said before, this is Africa. And Africa, we always have this gender discrimination. Man must always be on top of the situation. That is why I told you, even during that game, knacking, sometimes allow your lady to knock you. knock you thoroughly, and she will know that I am in charge. But today we've seen changes, and also, but before now, a lady cannot knock. They always suffer the knacking. They will knock and so, in that setting, we find out a male-dominated society, wherein Ada, even in a family, because of there was a boy in the family, Ada was denied the opportunity she's supposed to have. Even in the society, in the community, talk less of the family now, because the family, mama and papa, they was thinking, they prepared for a war when they got married. But in the society again, in the community, she was regarded as pumping nothing. In fact, in the society, all they think of men. I need a boy, I need a male child, make all of these things. So we see it in the first setting of Nigeria, yeah? The novel also depicts her experience in racist London society where the blacks, Africans were treated as second-class citizens. Of course, when she moved, this Ada, having been suffered in Nigeria, she moved. That is another place, another setting. Remember, setting in literature, we talk of time and place. Do you understand? Setting in literature, we talk of time and place. Do you understand? So, having moved to London, she also suffered injustice. How? Why? Discrimination, racism. Because she's a black, she's a woman, and even as that, in London again, her husband is an African. In London, she is portraying the African. Yeah, I mean for talk, I mean for do this, not for do this. I mean for do that, not for do that. In African society today, before now, some families, you can even see a woman take care of the family. After that, the man will say that papa. Do you understand? So this is the setting. Yeah. Again, though the novel is portrayal of the pledge of a young woman who is treated as a second-class citizen in her own country based on her gender, and it is also treated as a second-class citizen in London based on her race. In the novel, the setting of Nigeria, we see she suffered a lot. In fact, she was regarded as a second-class citizen in her own country, in her own community, even in her own parents' house, father's house. She was a second-class citizen there. And also, moving to London, she's also a second-class citizen. Yeah? Upon all that what has surrounded her, she regarded herself as a second-class citizen because she was not given the right because of this scale. That is why I told you of Bob Marley's song, the old philosophy, until the other country will not recognize the color. Second-class citizen is not important in those countries. Always is going to be war. So now we move to the overview. We are just making it short and sweet. So let's move to the overview. What the writer says about the overview. The Second-Class Citizen is a novel by Buchi, a Nigerian novelist. Now, when we say overview, you are going to give us the entirety of the story. How the story is, how the prose is. You are going to explain for us. You are going to summarize. We are not asking you to give us one for one. You are going to summarize. You are going to look at everything and give us a short statement about it. Now we said The Second-Class Citizen is a novel by Buchi Emecheta, a Nigerian novelist. The novel tells the story of a poor young Nigerian woman, Ada, from the childhood in Nigeria to adulthood in England. This is a story that tells us about a girl, a young lady in Nigeria whose name is Ada. And of course, the story started from when Ada was a child I told you she was a girl. She was a girl who came when the boy was needed. And also, this story tells us about Ada since her childhood until she becomes a woman in London. The story tells us all this. It is the overview. It's a story about a young Nigerian who is Ada, who the writer told us about her childhood until when she grows up as a woman. And also, again, around the age of 8, Ada developed a dream to live in the United Kingdom. Of course, this child, as young as she is, she had a dream. A dream somebody can dream, you cannot explain a dream. This is a girl, at the age of 8 years, she had a dream. What is the dream? She dreamt she traveled to England, United Kingdom, to acquire education. That is her dream. Who can dream that today? Today, what we our young girls, our sisters and brothers, what they dream is knacking. How to knack. Yes, how to knack is what they dream about. They are not dreaming better things. But Ada, look at Ada, at the age of 8 years, she dreamt. Come on, you baby, that dream they the dream self go you. But today our girls they are dreaming of knacking. And that dream she dreamt is to move to Nigeria, to United Kingdom. At the end of the day, she's a child, 8 years, she dreamt. And God, you know they dream. When you dream good thing, it make it come. And that at the end, she traveled. Wow, very beautiful. And that all is under the overview of the story. She tells us about how she dreamt, how she moved from Nigeria to England. All of that. And the characterization of the theme. Me back na mama born me. See how it was. So please, I will we stop here.